Thank you for joining me. Video number 5. We have our load of, um, what are we carrying? I forgot what we were carrying. Whatever it is, it's a triple trailer's worth of whatever it is. State Trooper just got ahead of us. Let's not tap the State Trooper. I believe our destination is Steamboat Springs. Speed limit, 65, 55 speed limit. Arapahoe National Forest. There's a huge difference between national forests and national parks. National parks are protected land, no forestry, no commercial big rigs, trucks routing through national parks. National forests are what are called managed lands. Private companies can negotiate for their use, including timber lumber industry, and commercial truck travel is allowed. Many times you'll see a national park, and then surrounding the national park will be acres and acres of national forest. No hunting is allowed on national parks, but hunting is permitted in national forests. So if little Bambi lives on a national park, she's totally protected for her whole life. But once she strays out into a national forest, there are generally no fences between national parks and national forests. So once Bambi makes it out into a national forest, she is no longer protected. Hairpin turn. Always interesting. A little more interesting when you're carrying a triple, you're driving a triple. Remember, put your mind on that rear axle and drive the front of the truck in such a way to make the rear axle go where you want it to go. I grew up in Washington State. There's a particular intersection in the city of Tacoma that has a 53-foot trailer off-tracking painted into the lanes. In other words, if you're a driver and you're watching the mirror and you're looking at your rear axle carrying a 53-foot trailer, you can visualize the correct off-tracking because the lane placement, the lines indicating where that rear tire should be, are actually painted on the pavement. It's a great place for driver training. enjoy these panoramic views, you switchback turns, because when we're in Texas, you're driving through miles and miles of what seems to be nothing. You sure want to have something to fall back on. And these views are truly spectacular. One of the great joys of American Truck Simulator is the diversity of terrain. With a standard transmission, you might be inclined to ride your brakes a little bit, not downshifting into the appropriate gear on the downgrade. Thankfully, with an automatic transmission, the gear shifting is taken out of your hands for the most part. You still want to monitor the gear you're in and use your engine brakes if necessary. Really got to hand it to these scenery artists. I can safely put the cruise control back on. And it seems to be set for 55. Speed limit is dropping to 45, so a couple clicks on the down button will bring our speed down to 45 using our momentum. Back up to 55. Miles to go. It's 6:31 in the evening. We're expected to be there at 8:05. One of the aspects that's much harder to control when you're a company driver is the ability to only drive at daytime, because the only time you're in the truck is when you have a load. When you have a load, there's a customer at the other end expecting delivery up to 60 miles an hour. So you need to be really careful with taking sleep while you're a company driver. which means it doesn't necessarily mean driving in the dark, but what it does mean is that you'll be picking up in the early twilight in the morning, and you might be delivering just after sunset in some cases, as will be the case today, it seems. Cruise control back on. 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. I tapped the brakes as we entered this curve, so that, of course, disengaged the cruise control. I wonder who's got the ability to pull this grade, Mr. Tankerman or myself. We'll try to pass Mr. Tankerman if conditions allow. As a driver, what I will do is if there's a vehicle passing me and he's inching up on my left-hand side, what I want to do is to make sure that that vehicle that is passing me does have the ability to complete the pass. If he is making progress, even if it's very slow progress on passing me, what I will do is I'll tap the brakes and let him pass. But you need to be careful about doing that, because once you let him pass, if he is not able to stay in front of you, it'll just piss you off. You know, you've got to... many of the vehicles that I drive don't have cruise control. And if you're behind Pokey Madoki, it can be very frustrating. So allow him to pass if it's obvious that he has the power to remain ahead of you. But otherwise, don't let him pass. And I know from another vehicle's perspective, if one truck is passing another truck at 2 miles an hour, it can be very frustrating when you're engaged in a 20-minute passing opportunity. Looks like our destination is coming up here in Steamboat Springs. We're losing the daylight. Steamboat Springs is discovered, and we're going to pull into this Walmart. Looks like we're pulling around the back. tricky navigating a triple trailer in this area. Make sure I don't take out any light posts. There's our 17-minute alarm. So, folks, stay with me if you want to watch the delivery and continue on the journey. Thank you for joining me for video number. Is this 4 or 5? I can't remember. Thanks.